we bring you our Monday news bulletin here on Luntha television. My name is Bernard Mwanza. Our top stories. Pope Francis expresses closeness to suffering Palestinians and Israelis. Legislators eagerly await devaluation comprehensive report. Finance Minister avoids media questions as he tried to clarify the recent kwacha devaluation. And in sports news, farm presidency up for grabs as incumbent president faces solemn hate in December election. Thank you for joining us, and now the news in detail. Pope Francis says he remembers every day the suffering Palestinians and Israelis, praying for them, and he offers his embrace at this dark moment. He appeals for a stop to the violence, immediate rescue efforts, and humanitarian aid for all. We have a Vatican News report being read by Charity Chilanga.
Addressing the crowds in St. Peter's Square following the Sunday Angelus, Pope Francis addressed the very serious situation in Israel and Palestine, underscoring his closeness to all those suffering. He said he remembers and prays for them every day, and he offers them his embrace at this dark hour. The Holy Father prayed that the weapons might be stopped, as they will never lead to peace, and that the conflict should not widen. He called for immediate rescue of those wounded in Gaza, protection of civilians, allowing far more humanitarian aid to reach the stricken population, and that the hostages be freed, including the elderly and children. Pope Francis made an emphasis that every human being, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, of any people, religion, every human being is sacred, is precious in the eyes of God, and has the right to live in peace. At the end, he called on everyone never to lose hope, but pray and work tirelessly so that the sense of humanity may prevail over hardness of heart.
Minister of Finance Simplex Chichola Banda says by Friday this week, Agriculture Ministry will have needed funds for maize distribution, with government insisting that the maize situation is stable in the country, despite the Agriculture Minister indicating that the country needs extra 11,000 metric tons. The Agriculture Minister Sam Kawale told the parliamentarians in his statement on Monday that government is securing $30 million assistance from partners to purchase over 40,000 metric tons, which will address the deficit. Some members, including Luntha Rural East, expressed worry over deaths of people due to hunger. We have a report.
Now, the House started with a leader of opposition asking the House to at least start discussing the issue of devaluation and, of course, the issue of high cost of living, which was contested by the government side, including the leader of the House, Richard Jumendo Banda, indicating or saying in the House that the leader of opposition, Ngondwa Nankuma, is part of the business committee, and if anything, that could have been brought there. However, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Kotani Hara, has since directed that the issue of devaluation and the high cost of living's discussions around that is going to be tackled tomorrow. That will be on Tuesday, the 14th of November 2023, when the Minister of Finance, Simplex Chichola Banda, is expected to present a comprehensive report on devaluation. And now the House saw a statement, a ministerial statement from Minister of Agriculture Sam Kawale, who in his statement has indicated that the country is having over 11,000 deficit of maize in the country, and that is being taken care of by what they are discussing as a government with partners to get at least 30 million US dollars that is going to be used to purchase at least 40,000 metric tons, and that is going to cushion the more than 11,000 metric tons deficit. He also said, the Minister of Agriculture, that they are just waiting for around 1.8 billion funding from the Treasury. If that comes, which in the parliament it was heard the Minister of Finance saying that will come by Friday. When that comes, now the ADMAC is going to use that money to distribute maize. They are calling that maize stabilization, because according to their market assessment as the ministry, the maize, 50 kg of maize is now fetching around 34 to 37,000 Malawi kwacha. This is what the minister said.
The past couple of months, we've been distributing maize across the country, specifically the southern region, which has been hit the most. Cyclone Freddy, we've done a significant amount of maize distribution in ADMAC depots. We still have a deficit that we need to finish in the first cycle. We stopped because funding was exhausted. We're waiting for Treasury to give us about 1.8 billion kwacha that is needed to finish the exercise.
However, Leader of Opposition Ogonda Nankuma was not amused with the fact that the Parliament had to proceed discussing the other issues, which was the ministerial statement on the maize situation and not the issue of devaluation. But he says, all in all, the Speaker directed otherwise, and he just had to go by the rules of the Speaker. However, the country, he says, is boiling.
The House on devaluation, because nothing tangible is being said as to why. I know even after addressing the press, they say, no, don't ask us questions. Now, I thought we should see the opportunity so that if they're saying no to questions from reporters, I think this government needs to take questions from this House. So that was why I rose in the House to say that the ministers need to come to the House today. But the Speaker ruled otherwise, and we went by the ruling of the Speaker.
Now, out of the 12,000 metric tons that the ADMAC is supposed to take from National Food Reserve Agency, more than 9,000 metric tons have already been drawn from there, and the remaining balance is what is waiting the funding from the Treasury. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Now, earlier today, the Finance Minister Simplex Chichola Banda avoided media questions at a crucial press conference where he justified the devaluation of Malawi kwacha. The conference, doubled government's address on crucial issues, was held in Lilongwe. During his maiden conference since his appointment, the new Finance Minister told journalists that, among others, government will be giving 50,000 kwacha to each of the 18,492 families for 3 months to cushion them from the 44% devaluation. We have more in this report.
The reading out of the statement in Chichewa was attended by several top government officials, including Reserve Bank of Malawi Governor, Attorney General Tabu Chakaganyurenda, and Director of Public Prosecutions Masauko Jamkakara, among others. According to the Minister of Finance Simplex Chichola Banda, from today, no one will be buying beyond $200 in cash, and that black market forex exchange will no longer be tolerated. And if one is importing items, will have the explain at the border where he got the money from.
Komanso mokupatsani chiyembekezo kuti ngakhale izi zili choncho koma boma lanu la Dr. Lazarus Chakwera lili nanu limodzi.
In cautioning the vulnerable to the heat of the devaluation, Chichirabanda said 184,920 families from the districts which were affected by Cyclone Freddy will be receiving 50,000 each, and over 105,000 families in the urban areas will also receive a portion. He said government has also increased the social cash transfer for beneficiaries from 2 to 3 million. He said government plans to employ 2,351 health workers, while civil servants' fate of their salary increment awaits the commenced negotiations on the matter. However, Titiola shunned media questions as he left the conference room after his statement, and later government spokesperson Moses Kunkuyu told journalists that they would ask the questions later to the minister for replies. After the 44% devaluation of the kwacha, prices of goods and services have gone up, but government insists the devaluation will see things beginning to move in the positive economic direction. Public debts, which were pitched at over 10 trillion kwacha, of which 60% is domestic, have been singled out some of the factors that have limited partners' assistance to Malawi.
That was Charity Chilanga. We still have more stories to come after this short commercial break.
Ajumwe. Komande phuma.
Ngakubezana.
Ngolibeza libe bani. Kujapha. Nafikira ngizokhondela. Takulandela ajumwe.
Tuchemwe.
Muli bwino koma.
Handi mubanje.
Hayi tilipo. Kaya kumene mwachoka kuno.
Menda njoka kose kwabwino.
Ngode kwabwino ndinkhani taimva emalipo.
Onkhani ndimene mwaimba kodi. Ndimene mndabwera bani.
Kadi yosangaza.
Mwana watidzidzimutsa atadzidzimuka kwambiri wakhoza mayeso.
Mukatodzidzimuka chimene munachoza.
Simayembekezera kuti mali wakhoza mayeso. Ndendalama pokugwira tilibe chifoni mwana amusankhira ku mission ndesikulu yakeso njokugonera konkonde
Achimwene. Inu rizinaye zinazokonzekera. Timadzazo kuti mwana ali mastande ili ndelo apita form 1 tufunika usunga school fees. Ndende sikuna sunga ndalama. Inu tagulitsa limodzi foja chimanga chaka chimenechi. Ndalama zapita kuti.
Ndalama ndinapangira isi.
Ngachimwene mufunika kuphunzira kusunga ndalama pang'ono. Ndalama atu zimafunika kusunga kupewa nyengo ngati zimenezi. Kumasunga kanga chiko kamene makapeza. Mufunika kusukuli mabanki masako amene muthu akakhala konda account yomasunga kwa ndalama umene. Inu chimafuta ndi chani?
Ndithu kusakazaka uja fofoso amalimba mayeso. Ndeti mayembekezo uyati patsampata mwadzidzidzi
Ngati kholo mukena ukhala woyembekezera ndithu zonse zochitika.
Koma no nkhani yosunga ndalama ndife lomwe alimi.
Sizikulengera kuti ndi ndani. Kandi ndi alimi, kandi a business, kandi azinche kanga chepe mungapezera. Patulani pang'ono kuti musunge ndalama kupewa nyengo ngati zimenezi. Nanga patuka maza school fees, nanga rakhala maliro. Nanga matenda.
Khalani ochenjera nthawi zonse. Sungani ndalama zanu, gulani zinthu zokhazo zili pa bajeti kuti muthe kusunga ndalama.
Kusunga ndalama zanu ndi chinthu chofunika zedi. Samalani ndalama zanu lero. Kusunga ndalama zanu ndi chinthu chofunika zedi. Samalani ndalama zanu lero.
Hey, Mlam, how are you?
I'm all right, yourself?
I'm doing good, sir.
Great, you're looking good too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Where are you going this weekend? I mean, it's early,
Yeah, it's a weekend. We're going out shopping.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are you, Chemali?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Can I just meet her for a few
No problem. Go ahead.
It's okay,
Yeah.
Congratulations, brother. Just heard about Adala.
Yes, I'm so excited about these things, you know.
Okay.
My child is going now to secondary school.
That's so nice, I imagine.
This is why I've come here. I need money for her school fees. These exams have just been released and I don't have anything with me now.
So you want to tell me that all this time we're not saving for this upcoming...
Saving for what? How can I save that little money that I get? You know how much I get, Chima. I told you when I was beginning my job.
You can save money not only for things like these ones. You can save money for a lot of things, responsibilities and other emergencies.
But Chima, these days is hand to mouth.
There are banks out there. There are microfinance institutions out there, as well as SACCOs. You can choose one way to save your money.
I have understood everything you've told me about saving. But I still need the money to pay the school fees now.
Okay.
I still need the money.
No matter how little you earn, you need to save something. Now, how do you do that? For any amount of money you have, you sure should budget. Before you start spending, think saving first. That involves putting money aside for future use. Saving should be part of the budget. Now, you might be wondering, why should I save? You can save for education, emergencies, weddings, and even other investments. You can save your money in registered institutions such as banks, SACCOs, microfinance institutions that take deposits, or you can buy life-saving policies from insurance companies.
Saving fun is all you need to do.
Are you passing through Desert Town and you think of finding a place to rest or just to have some nice food? Always keep this name in your mind. Comfort Lodge. Situated in Airfield at Desert Town. Here at Comfort Lodge, we offer comfortable, affordable, and quality accommodation. The place is located at a very quiet environment that gives you a comfortable and peaceful sleep. We also offer local food such as mademba, masambote ndela, chisoso, ndi ndo zina za lokolo zambiri. Talking of entertainment, that's not an issue as we have a DSTV for your favorite channels. Tight security, electricity and water backups are all in place just for you dear customers. During this time of COVID-19, we have all measures in place just for your safety. Oh yes, come and taste a different feel of life here at Comfort Lodge in the town. Comfort Lodge. Comfort Lodge, your number one place for affordable and quality accommodation.
personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Welcome back to our news bulletin. But before we proceed, let's have a recap of our main stories. Pope Francis expresses closeness to suffering Palestinians and Israelis. Legislators eagerly await devaluation comprehensive report. Finance Minister avoids media questions as he tried to clarify the recent Kwacha devaluation. And in sports news, farm presidency up for grabs as incumbent president faces Sodom Head in December election. Mama Amina Foundation has supported 200 pediatric patients at Beira College of Medicine Children's Foundation, situated at Kamuzu Central Hospital in Lilongwe, with food hampers as a way of easing challenges that people face when they are admitted in hospitals, especially during economic crisis. Expressing appreciation, head of pediatrics in child health at the hospital, Dr. Msandeni Chiumia Kayuni, noted that the donation will go a long way in complementing efforts they do in providing needs of the patients and their guardians. Tandiwe Nzumara reports.
According to Mama Amina Foundation Executive Director Hassan Abdul Malik, with the challenges that Malawians are facing, which have worsened with the devaluation, they noted that patients and guardians might be feeling the impact rather harder, hence the decision to make the donation.
We are planning to come here again and again because we have just helped 200 people, 200 patients. And out of 200 patients, we have more than 200 patients. We have we were told about 600 who are in need, and we only have managed to help 200.
Dr. Msande Nishiumi Akayuni, who is the head of pediatrics and child health at the hospital, commended the foundation for coming forward, calling on well wishers to follow suit, as help to those in need is a collective responsibility.
Apart from the medical care, they also see and understand that we understand what they're going through on their daily basis, and the human face to it is what's very important, that people still bath, people still want something nice, and just to express that, even if it's a once-off, it's very important.
One of the guardians, Florence Chidukuta Singini, who is in the hospital with her son for a leg injury, said what Mama Amina Foundation has done is beyond most of the people's expectations, as a lot of people in the hospital are going through hardships in finding meals. Singini went further to say that a few people are able to receive help from their relatives since they come from far places, and the meals that they get in the hospital is not enough to cater for both patients and guardians, making the support appreciated.
We've seen the hand of God through this donation, because there is many of us here who ever since we came to seek medical assistance have never received such help, even from our own family and friends. And for them to consider us in such a way, we thank you, and may God bless you abundantly.
Each of the 200 pediatric patients has received a food hamper consisting of items worth 35,000 kwacha. The total donation was worth 7.2 million Malawi kwacha, made possible with funding from Serving Humanity Foundation. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
In sports news, football fans in the country are optimistic that there will be a free, fair and credible elections during the Football Association of Malawi FAM's elective General Assembly. FAM on December 16th hold an elective General Assembly and subsequently elections in accordance with FAM Statutes Article 29. The election, or rather, has sparked debate after two of the contestants declared their bids separately through media interviews. We have the details.
The two are from incumbent President Walter Nyamirandu and Super League of Malawi President Fleetwood Haiya. Nyamirandu, who has been FAM President for the past 19 years, made the announcement on Saturday evening in a televised interview. On the other hand, Haiya declared his presidency and tops the nominations that includes a FAM committee. In an interview on Monday, sports journalist Romeo Mali echoed many sports lovers' sentiments that the election will be violence-free in view of the recent sports guidelines which Malawi enacted. There have been fierce debates in football circles over the years accusing that Nyamirandu has overstayed as FAM president, having served for 2 decades, but he always trounces his opponents at each elective General Assembly. While analysts argue that he has overstayed, football structures do not have a limit to tenure of office, and that voters are the affiliates themselves who assess Nyamirandu's management performance. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I'm Helbert Katanda.
And finally, another news, Liberians will vote tomorrow Tuesday in a runoff election between President George Weah and former Vice President Joseph Boakai, after a fiercely fought first round in which neither was able to score over 50% of the vote to secure an outright victory. We have a BBC News report read in our studios by Andrew Pound.
Football icon Weah, 57, led the first round in October, gaining 43.83% of the vote, and Boakai had 43.44%. Boakai, 78, is a political veteran who from 2006 to 2018 was deputy to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Africa's first elected female head of state. Analysts say the thin margin of the votes between them, just 7,126 votes out of almost 2 million votes, and the absence of a strong third candidate means the round will also be very competitive. The 2023 election has been a rematch of the vote in 2017 when Weah won with over 61%. This is the country's fourth post-war presidential election, but the first one without the presence of the United Nations mission, which previously provided support to the country's elections commission. Analysts say the election is a referendum on the ruling party's stint in power so far. Some voters have become disenchanted with Weah's performance, particularly on corruption, high rate of youth unemployment, food inflation, and general economic hardship. He fired his chief of staff and 2 other senior officials after the United States imposed sanctions on them for corruption.
Andrew Pound with a BBC News report. To end the news, the headlines once again. Pope Francis expresses closeness to suffering Palestinians and Israelis. Legislators eagerly await devaluation comprehensive report. Finance Minister avoids media questions as he tried to clarify the recent Kwacha devaluation. And in sports news, farm presidency up for grabs as incumbent president faces Sodom Head in December election. This has been Brennan Mwanza, and our producer today was Andrew Pound. Many thanks too to Chifuniro Mbofana on the final control center. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.